Informed, outspoken, wild, fearless. This is the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast.
What is up, my dudes? This is Trent with the Fantasy Football Dudes Podcast. I am joined by Jordan, Seth, and Phill. In today's episode, we have our Week 3 recap. I think we got some Who Hurt You. Is that what we're calling it, Jordan?
Yeah,
Who Hurt You? So let's jump into our Week 3 recap. We might have a couple waivers here, some things that surprised us on the week, where we were right, where we were wrong. Phill, you have a good weekend before we jump into this?
I had a great weekend. Yeah, just kind of hung out, got to hang out with my family, chilled, didn't do too much. I coached some soccer. Jordan and I have that in common. We're both elite coaches in one way or the other. Actually, Seth and I do too. Like out here doing the Lord's work, coaching some soccer, and
me and Jordan get trophies though.
Rings,
yeah.
It's ring season and Phil's on babysit season.
They get ribbons in the leagues that I coach.
Participation,
yeah. I am an elite coach, though. I will say that.
We won't take that away from you.
Don't take that away from me. And I just kind of hung out with some friends, hung out with some family. Did some just kind of hanging out. That was pretty much what I did this weekend. I've just been, as you guys know, I have an infatuation with Toyota Tacomas, and there is a used one that I just cannot get my mind off of. It's like parked various places.
Well, sell one of your two vans and buy it.
Actually, it's 4-wheel drive. You might trade in your 2-wheel drive lifted truck and pick it up.
It's actually 4. Mine's actually 4. It's okay.
And Jordan just came back, hot off a plane in Alaska. Jordan, I saw you were up there on the North Point feeding reindeer. How was that?
The North Point, you mean the North Pole?
North Pole, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
No, it was cool. It was a quick
Guys, give him a break. He's tired. Give him a break.
Hey, Phill, we're on YouTube. I don't know if you see this camera right here. Your head is not even on the camera.
That's probably better for viewership. Let's be honest. Go ahead.
No, it was good. Was there for a wedding, quick trip, Thursday through Sunday.
For what? What were you there
good.
for?
I just said a wedding.
Put your listening
I was coughing.
ears on.
Yeah. He paid attention the entire pod. Go ahead.
No, it was good though. Quick trip.
Any enjoyable food? Any local fare that you enjoyed?
Just normal food. Had some pretty good Indian food and
That's the last thing I think about eating in Alaska.
Here's the crazy thing, Trent. The ethnic food in Alaska is actually really, really good.
Okay.
Because they're so close to I know their Thai food's really good there. They have a lot of there's a lot of Chinese, Japanese, Thai restaurants there because they're so close to those countries, and a lot of people immigrate to Alaska from there.
Isn't California closer to those countries? You have to fly.
You need to look at a map.
No, look at a map.
Alaska is almost touching Russia.
Yeah.
No, I know it's 10 miles
So
away.
Korea
It's
is not
truthfully
far.
10 miles away.
No, look, it's actually Japan's pretty close.
Interesting because of how it curves
Yeah,
down in.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
And the Earth's smaller at the top, kind of like a globe.
Yeah. Well, Seth, you are a flat earther. I'm surprised that you actually said that. Go ahead, Jordan. What do you say?
No, so the ethnic food's actually pretty good there. So and they have a lot of it. But other than that, it was good. It was a good little quick trip. A little bit of a long day today though.
Seth, what are you smirking about over there? Remember to give us a follow on YouTube at TFF Dudes. And today's episode is brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper's our favorite place to play fantasy football. They also have some fun daily picks on there. Enter promo code DUDES100. They will match you up to $100. Jordan's been given some picks on the Sleeper. He did a nice one in Alaska, had a nice little backdrop, mountain backdrop.
The picks were not so nice, but
picks weren't nice, but the backdrop, you get an A for the backdrop.
And you look great.
Pickens hit. So Jordan went 1 for 3 on that one, and then
look great.
And then guess what, guys? Trent happened to fall asleep when Jordan sent the pick that hit, so he wasn't able to post it.
no, that's actually not what happened. I'll give Trent a little bit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah, no, I actually, me and my
No,
daughter
I didn't do a video for the picks tonight.
I know, but Trent could have posted the pick.
Fair.
Yeah,
He could have
I
posted the
could have posted.
picks.
So yeah.
A simple share button is what you're requesting, Seth.
Yes.
I'm just saying, Sunday's got to be in the game.
Basically, Seth saying I redeemed myself tonight.
That was after football,
But got
though, right?
no love because Trent didn't share.
That got shared after football. That was before the Sunday night game.
Yeah, that was after
Yeah.
the other games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Seth, you're good. You're hanging in there. You had your birthday boy right here. Big 21.
24.
Okay, nice. So, okay. You have a good birthday weekend?
Yeah, it was fun. I ate some good food for dinner and lunch and hung out. Actually, it was even better. I had a good night on Underdog tonight. So
What did you have for lunch? Or dinner? What was better?
I had.
Is this Seth's birthday today?
It was
no,
Saturday.
It was Saturday.
I didn't even know that. Happy birthday, Seth.
Thank you. I had steak at Vintage Press.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
you went all out for 24.
Yeah,
Kobe
for
year.
lunch, and then I had steak again.
Please
that
do
night.
not ever say that again.
So I had steak two.
That's what it's called, Phill.
I had steak 2 nights in a row, and it was great. Or 2 days, 2 meals in a row
So
Saturday-
you had steak twice.
in one day. Yeah,
How was the Vintage Press steak? That's a local.
it was really good.
Yeah.
really good. Yep.
What cut?
Nice restaurant. I think it was filet.
Okay.
Seth, do people not, when you turn 24, don't they call it your Kobe year?
I've heard that before, but no one ever said that until I never. I don't.
I also
think
just-
no one told me that until you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have some dignity. I would also never say
I guess
that.
I gotta be in the Mamba mentality.
You got to be mom mentality.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that for what it's worth, Jordan.
I don't really, it's just what people say. I'm not the
Do
one
they
who made
also
it up.
say that when you turn 8?
No, because you're a kid when you turn 8.
Okay.
You guys want to recap our picks we had this past week? Kind of go over
Just
them.
skip me.
Skip Seth. Seth had a little rough one.
I'm
Even though it
gonna
was
go
his
for 4.
birthday, his picks weren't great.
So we'll
0
give him
for
a
4.
pass because it was his birthday.
I think we kind of have some pushes on some of these picks where I'm not quite sure, for like, they didn't kill you, but they aren't that good either, though. You know what I'm saying? But Phill, you want to take these picks here?
I think we should give Jordan probably. Should we just let Jordan start with his Derrick Henry? Set?
yeah, let him
Yeah,
start
let's
with
Like
that.
I said, I text Trent or I text that I didn't get much right this weekend, but the Derrick Henry one was pretty spot on. Like I should have went way bold and said like not even a top 30. This guy wasn't even a top 40 running back,
he's
maybe.
bad.
Like, but yeah, out of the top 20, like you really shouldn't have played him. Like, and so I feel good about that. I think going forward, you do not want to play running backs against this Cleveland defense, just in general. Like they're just a really good run defense.
Well, and looking at it too, like the snaps, what was it?
He didn't play, right? I saw the halftime
hardly
one.
had-
It was like 18 to
at-
7.
Yeah, at halftime, yeah. Spears had 18 snaps and Henry had 7. So
Henry play. Oh, it doesn't have percentage, but I mean, he had 11 attempts for 20 yards.
yeah, it was rough. So Jordan did nail that sit. So that was pretty good.
What did you think of? Maybe we'll get it back into it, but it's in the same game. What did you think about Deshaun Watson, Jordan?
I'm kind of mad at myself because Seth, did we say it on air or did we talk about it before about how like
We
Deshaun Watson will be able to bounce back?
No, we talked about it on air because Trent has a clip of me saying Deshaun Watson sucks.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
like,
we
and then I
talk
didn't
about
like play any, like I didn't really get on any of his props or play him in any DFS.
that. Yeah, like
so
Deshaun
like,
Watson ended up being pretty decent.
Like,
I
we
probably
sh-
should have played it.
yeah, like I should have went back there because I knew the logic. Like the Titans defense, you want to just play the pass game and stay away from the running backs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the pass game, though, really quickly in the Browns game, Trent, you had to start. You had Amari Cooper starting that game.
Yeah, Amari Cooper had 21 half-point PPR points today. Had a really big game.
Yeah.
But what you don't see is he actually had a catch he made. Did you see it?
I didn't see that.
He had a catch that would have been probably a 50-yard touchdown, but the ref called him out of bounds.
Oh,
And
really?
he clearly was not out of bounds.
Did they review it?
They didn't, yeah, that's what.
No, but they blew the whistle.
What?
You know what I'm saying? The ref thought he stepped out of
he didn't catch
no,
it
no,
out of
he,
bounds.
he,
Gotcha.
he caught it, and then he was running down the field, and they called him out of bounds.
And you can't review
Yeah,
that.
and you can't review it. So he would have had an even bigger game.
Gotcha.
So
he
maybe
caught it like, it was
another
like a
6
15-yard.
points. Yeah, another 6 points at least to the
that's-
score.
Well, that's 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
50-yard touchdown.
So yeah, he could
That's
have had an
crazy.
even more of a monster game, but yeah, he had 21 points, and I'm curious to see what he is on the season. Actually,
I think he's having a pretty good year.
I had him top 10. He is wide. This isn't right, so I'm not sure.
Is it going? Is it
He,
wrong
it has
again?
maybe he's wide receiver 44 right here, but maybe it's not updated yet because the week's not done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that could be true. All right, well, let's move on here, Seth. Do you
44
just?
might be right. For what it's worth.
Yeah, I think it maybe.
Let's go to Seth. I'm trying to pick out something that you
Are good at.
you were so at. Let's talk about Michael Pittman here real quick.
Yeah, so 12 doesn't. I mean, in PPR, this is more, right? So this is a lot more points. In half point, he had 12 and a half, 9 receptions for 77 yards. Maybe I just underestimated him a little bit. I mean,
You know what I think Michael Pittman is right now? He's like a really safe like floor play, but I just don't know how much upside he has because he's getting like he's like the Keenan Allen of like the last couple years where Keenan Allen didn't really have much upside. It was just like 8 catches for 60 yards. Like he's good for your 12 to 16 points every week,
Yeah.
but there's not much upside. You know, obviously we're seeing different Keenan Allen now, but I just don't know how much touchdown upside he has in that offense and like big play, like explosiveness he has in that offense.
Yeah.
But
We
Colts got the win though.
they got the win, and we did talk about Zach Moss.
Zach Moss had a good game.
We did talk about Zach Moss a little bit last week. He had a really good game.
Yep.
Seth,
That's
I'll
what
give you some love. I think you may have brought him up in that conversation.
I did say I think he'd have a good game just because Richardson wasn't playing. But it's be interesting when Jonathan Taylor comes back.
If
I think it could be interesting on how he could have a really good season, like if he comes back.
and
plays.
is Zach Moss a start moving forward if you have him on your
He's a
roster?
start for.
He was
this-
only 52% started this week.
yeah, I think he's.
I think you keep starting him.
And he's only
Let's see.
70. I mean, not only he's 78% rostered, 52% start.
So I'll take the L on Michael Pittman. I mean, it didn't really kill you, but
You know who's a start though? Is Manscaped. The modern man is a start, okay? And the modern man's a man who takes care of himself, Phil. Manscaping isn't just for life special occasions, it's a requirement. For optimal health and healthy self-esteem, you now have the right tools for a precise grooming. So go to Manscaped, tell them the dude sent you. Promo code DUDES20 for 20% off your whole entire order. We got the Boxers 2.0 on the table, the Weed Whacker, the Lawnmower. We got it all. So go over to Manscaped, tell them the dudes sent you guys. So yeah,
Booyah.
it's always a good start when it comes to Manscaped.
Okay, for what it's worth, Zach Moss had 18 last week and he had 21 this week. So I think you're safe starting him next week against the Rams.
Yeah, the Rams.
Week
Yeah.
5 will be interesting though if Jonathan Taylor comes back. So I would lock him in next week.
Yeah, and I mean, if he's still playing, then the following week they have Tennessee, and the ground game for the Browns looked really good. So just keep that in mind as well. All right, we're moving on to. I'm going to go with Jordan. I want to go with Michael Thomas here. I think this one's either a push or I think I lean more in your favor with this one, but I'm going to let you go with this one.
I don't think you're mad either way, right? If you played Michael Thomas or sat Michael Thomas, like I kind of say it's a push, right?
I mean, he got 8 points and half-point PPR. I normally look for 10, right?
yeah.
And he hasn't got 10 all year. He pretty much did exactly what I said he was going to do. Six catches, 50 yards. His yards after catch were probably, I can't see it right yet, but it'll upload later. The stats will, but I'm sure it's less than 5 yards again. So he did exactly what I said he was going to do. Obviously, in full point PPR, he's at 11, so it's a little bit better, but it's still not great.
I think you might have a guy on your bench who scored more than that.
Yeah,
If your guy you started over and might have had more points than 8 or 11.
he's honestly he's a lesser version of the old Michael Thomas. The old Michael Thomas was 10, 11 for 110. He's now doing the same thing, but it's 6 for 50. There's no upside. So it's almost like the worst version of Michael Pittman, like I just talked about. So I'm going to take the W on that one because he kind of did exactly what he said he was going to do. There's just no upside with him. And that's the problem with Michael Thomas now. If you're in a 16-team league, of course, you'll take that 9, 8, 10 points every single week. But if you're in a 10-team league, you can't. That's not going to cut it. 8 points, 9 points. You know?
Yeah. I don't like Michael Thomas, so you don't have to convince me.
Let's kick it back to Trent.
And here's one more thing. Sorry.
Sure.
Going forward, Michael Thomas. If Derek Carr's out, you can't even who did Jameis play quarterback?
Jameis played quarterback, and
That's worse for Michael Thomas because what does Jameis want to do?
go deep.
He wants to chuck it. He's not looking to get the slants, the 5-yard
YOLO
slants.
YOLO
That's
balls.
true.
Yeah,
Balls
he's
in.
gonna chuck it. It's better for Olave. It's better for Shaheed. Michael Thomas without Derek Carr is way worse.
Jameis Winston had 16 attempts for 10 completions, 100 yards. So,
Not bad.
and they blew a 17-point lead in that game. So,
Jordan Love just keeps finding ways to win.
yeah, you had 2 Bakersfield boys playing quarterback to start that game off. That's kind of cool. You know, a little Valley representation there.
Little Valley rep. I'm gonna get Jahmyr Gibbs. You want to talk about
This
that
is a
Trent?
weird one.
Or were you
'cause-
gonna say something
no,
about Jordan Love?
No, Gibbs is interesting because Jordan, he had 8 points, but he had 17 attempts for 80 yards. It was a solid.
He had no catches.
His catches, he had 1 reception for 2 yards.
Yeah.
It was the
Why did they not use him in the passing game?
usage.
Well, they were up 23. They were up most of that game, right?
Yeah,
So
and the usage was weird. They had a 3rd and 1, and like Gibbs would have got it, but they did a fullback dive, and the guy got stuffed. So it seemed like it was I don't know. It seemed like he was doing okay, but the points just aren't there. So this is my worst play of the week.
Didn't work well. Like they were up the whole game. They were just going to hand him the ball off between the tackles.
The game script was completely wrong.
Yeah, and I thought with how much they were winning that they might get, but maybe they just...
How much? Oh, sorry. Like I was on a plane all day. I didn't always tried to watch as much as I could using the Wi-Fi, but I really wasn't able to watch everything. How much did Craig Reynolds play? How much did you guys know that?
Craig Reynolds... What was Reynolds' point? I saw him in there. Sorry, I was getting confused. He had 1 fantasy point, so he had 4 attempts for 15
Okay,
yards.
so it wasn't that he got the work.
Yeah.
He was the main guy there. Who did score a lot of points in that game?
Laporta, your boy.
Laporta had a big play.
Laporta went
and then
off.
St. Brown had 100 yards.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear Laporta. That's all I just wanted to hear.
Laporta's on pace right now for what I have. He's on pace for 125 targets on the season.
Yeah, no, he's
They love tight ends.
They do.
And is it a Dan Campbell thing? Because Campbell was a tight end.
I think the red
they
zone
just love tight ends.
They don't have
there.
a big body target, and I think that's their big body target is now him, and that's what's going to favor him in the red zone. He's the big body target.
Did St. Brown didn't have a great game?
he had 100 yards.
100 yards.
Okay.
I mean,
He had a solid game. Like
Yeah.
it gets overshadowed when Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen all go for like 30 points apiece. You know.
Yeah.
And the Lions are now 2-1. Just as a friendly reminder here for all the folks. That's right.
Lost to the Hawks though.
They did. Let's go, baby. Hawks won today. Hawks look, pretty decent, I guess, against an 0-2 team, at least towards the end. All right, we're gonna go over to Seth. I hate to do it to you, but I have to. James Conner, my guy.
Yeah, so I can go through James Conner and Zach Ertz. Completely flopped. Zach Ertz had 1.6. James Conner at 18. I guess I really thought that they weren't going to be able to run the ball against the Cowboys because the Cowboys didn't really allow anyone to do anything in the first 2 games. And then today they were just awful. Like the Cowboys looked terrible today all around. And so maybe I just put my faith where my faith should never go in the Cowboys. So never going to do that again. Zach Ertz just didn't get the volume he's been getting all year. Like his target share is 33%. He did not get the 33% share of targets this year. I think maybe because they're running the ball well enough.
Connor's
So
running back 13 on the season.
Yeah, so I'll take the L there. I mean, I just didn't think he would have a good game against the Cowboys.
Did he have one long?
I think he had one.
What's his name? Rondale Moore. had a
Rondale Moore
long
in the
run.
backfield?
Oh, yes, yeah.
So actually, the rushing was like worse than we thought.
I was
against the Cowboys.
I was surprised how bad the rushing defense was in this
It was
game.
awful.
I don't know what.
Do you think Trent there's just a letdown with the dig stuff?
Well, there was some passing plays. I was like, man, maybe Diggs would have done something on there, but
No,
Diggs-
I mean like a mental, emotional,
maybe a letdown. The biggest letdown I thought of that game though was before
Dak
the game
sucks.
before the game started, and I saw that Dallas had 3 starting offensive linemen not playing. I said this is going to be a lot closer game than what I thought
The
it was going to
Seahawks
be.
had
Trent,
5 not playing.
Like Dak's just not good.
I don't think he's great. No, but
Yeah, he's not good.
I don't know who he was throwing to on that last play. Like it was just straight to the guy.
No, yeah, I'm just like here, but in fairness, there's not many good
Wasn't it
quarterbacks in the
tipped?
league, like we see every week.
It wasn't. So Dak had 16 fantasy points today. He had 1
It's not
interception.
terrible. It's not terrible.
The
They need to use CeeDee Lamb had 1 catch for 9 yards.
Yeah, and the red zone offense is really bad.
Sorry. CD actually ended up having a decent week. I think.
Like
And they got a couple calls their way that I thought actually helped them in the red zone, and they ended up still just kind of like
they
floundering.
made it to the red zone 5 times and they only scored 1 touchdown. So I said it on my waiver wire pod. I said I feel like they're settling in the red zone. They're just like, hey, our defense is going to win us
Because
this
they don't
game.
trust Dak, Trent. They don't trust Dak to make
Maybe
plays.
Not. Maybe not. So yeah, that's where Aubrey was my 1 fantasy football kicker pickup
Yeah,
recommendation.
that's what I picked up too, and it worked out really well.
Still
I was happy when
33% roster.
I was happy when they failed and had to kick field goals.
Yeah.
All right, moving on here.
Winnable game though.
The Jordan, you want to talk about Jordan Addison?
Yeah, so I'm just looking up the Addison, what his box score looked like. That game ended up, the highest total on the week. It actually went Did it go under? Yeah, it went under the total just barely.
28-24.
It kind of shoot out. I don't know how you
The
how you say
Vikings
that.
could have scored it.
It
again.
kind
Became
of
a shootout.
became a shootout.
Yeah.
Toward in that fourth quarter,
The
last
game
like
ended
quarter
up
and a half.
being a shootout.
Yeah, game ended up being a shootout. The last quarter and a half of that game.
You almost said a swear word there on accident. Go ahead. Keep going.
I didn't almost say a swear word.
Keep going.
He had 8 targets, his most targets on the year.
Yeah.
Most receptions on the year at 6, but he just didn't get the touchdown and has least amount of yards. So like he was involved, he just never had the big play, you know? So it's encouraging that he had the 6 receptions, 8 targets, but just didn't have that big touchdown catch.
I wonder if he got
which
caught
he
up
had
on
been.
one of those catches. I'm curious if he got caught up on one and maybe if
Maybe.
he broke a tackle, he could have made a big play.
Oh, and he did. He kind of dropped one in the end zone, but it was one where the defense tipped and then it kind of went through his hands a little bit. So it was a
hard one to get.
Yeah, it would have been a hard catch. But he had some. So I think he got at least 1 red zone target, maybe 2. I feel like there was another one I saw in the fourth quarter that he like could have made a play on it, but it would have been a hard catch. So I'll take the L, but I kind of feel like I was on the right track
You're
here,
encouraged by it.
like because he was the most involved he's ever been. So
yeah.
Big problems in Minnesota, though.
yeah, I mean,
It's been a rough 3 weeks, though.
they had an absolute gift. Staley gave them a gift.
Staley's such a moron.
Oh, I can't even say, yeah. And they blew it. Like they had 20 yards. They literally all they do is get 20 yards.
He went for it on 4th down on their own 20.
on their own 20. Up 4.
I don't.
But I mean that tells you what he thinks of the Vikings offense. But that game went back and forth in the fourth quarter. Long plays.
Justin Jefferson is 3 games in a row over 149 yards.
I don't know what we're doing now, just taking his prop every
We
over
probably
on his
need
prop
to take it.
every
It
single
was
week.
99.5 this week. And we
I
should
know,
have
and I was
Like
like,
guys, they're playing Carolina next week. Like Justin Jefferson could have like 200
what are they going to
yards
set
next week.
At some point, we just take it until he doesn't get it. I honestly
Yeah,
think for
we
now
need
on,
to,
I'm
yeah.
just going to take it.
Just
His
lock it in
line,
for
his
this
line
week.
might be at 110 next week.
I'm just going to take it. It's going to be in the video for next week. It's gonna
hopefully
be
the
on the
line's,
play.
hopefully the line's not at like 120. You know, like
Hey,
hopefully
they won't because he went
can't.
from like week
playing
1 was like
Carolina next
88,
week.
then it was like 95, then it was one. It's gonna be like 105 and a half.
Carolina is
106.
his highest. Besides Tampa Bay, it's his highest projection
Yeah.
of the year. Projected points, half point.
Well, the thing is, too, their defense isn't good, so they're airing it out the whole entire
Because they have
game.
to play, yeah.
So it's like that 100. It's not like they're going to take their foot
Guys,
off
it's
the gas.
3 games in a row with 12 plus targets. 12, 13, 13.
Did Akers play at all?
No, inactive. I'm very curious to see.
Madison
What it's going to look like?
Madison didn't have a bad game. I know he dropped the ball. He kind of fumbled, but
I had Madison as a start and a sit. Remember that? That was
Yeah.
kind of bad.
Well,
look.
he went 20 for 93 and 5 catches for 32. So
yeah, he didn't punch anyone at the goal line.
Honestly, just if that just lights a fire, it's totally worth it. You know, just bringing Akers in, maybe makes him play better.
Let's talk about before we go back into starts and six. I'm just going to do like just a general intermission here. The Broncos getting the absolute break speed off them.
I thought you were gonna say a
Man,
swear word right there for
we
a
do have
second.
to talk about 90-point total, second highest regular season score ever.
It's a college game. It was a college score.
It was crazy.
It was so bad.
And the running backs is actually the bigger story here. Is having 90-something points combined between Achane and Mostert. Like they were just, it was like a track meet, dude. They were burning. I saw Mostert just completely just toast 3 guys on the outside. I was
so
shocked.
fast. Well,
They were burning people the entire game.
here's the Dolphins had 5. The Dolphins have all 5 of the top 5 fastest next gen stats today. Tyreek Hill 22.07 miles per hour. Tyreek Hill 21.66. Oh no, this is for the season. Sorry, but Achane was 21.5 versus Denver today. So Achane and Tyreek Hill both went over 21 miles an hour today in the game.
They have a bunch of track stars on their team.
Yeah.
Mostert's fast. Achane's literally a track star. I think he competed in track at A&M. And then you have Tyreek Hill. So not like Waddle's no slouch either or
So
some
Waddle's fast too. I think
Yeah,
Waddle ran
so-
a 4.4.
They did all this without Waddle.
No, I know.
That's what's crazy.
Also, I think the Broncos are that bad.
Yeah. Achane's 47% rostered right now.
So my
Yeah, you
question,
have to
and
get- you
the
have to grab
A-Chain
him.
thing is tough because like I have him on my taxi squad in Dynasty, So that, I might have beat
I think-
Seth if I would have somehow.
I think you leave him there though.
Yeah, that's my
honest.
question is like, now the minute Mostert gets hurt, you might have to take because it's
Which
going to happen.
happens. It
It's going
happens.
to happen at some point, right? And I think the Achane stuff was a product. Like I know you got the first 2 touchdowns, but then some of it is the product of them being up so much.
18
I just
attempts.
don't know what you do with him.
He was averaging 11 yards per carry today.
Yeah, it's not sustainable. He doesn't get that many attempts. The game's closer. But with Ahmed, so Ahmed comes back. Wilson's coming out the IR. The thing just becomes an absolute mess.
I don't
And
think
so-
it does though. You have your 2 guys.
Do you try to sell him? Do you try to trade him?
Phill,
I don't think you even
Phill,
play the other guys.
Achane
That's
was,
what I'm saying.
I think you just live with Mostert and
Correct.
But
That is the
here's-
answer.
one guy.
Correct.
Here's the issue, though. Achane was 4th on the depth chart 3 weeks ago. Wilson was ahead of him. It was Mostert, Wilson, Ahmed, Achane. So when Wilson comes off IR, is he coming in? Is he not going to play now?
Maybe he's the
That's
third.
a McDaniel's guy. Is
Yeah.
Wilson? They were literally playing Ahmed last week over Achane. The only reason Achane played today is because Ahmed
Yeah, but
was
I
hurt.
think maybe Achane maybe proved that he could be better. I
Correct.
don't know.
No,
if,
I
don't know
get
if
that.
Salvin Ahmed or Jeff Wilson pulls up that performance.
I'm just
Salvin
saying
Ahmed,
though, like,
definitely not,
are we supposed
This is
to
the
just
biggest Salvin Ahmed fan ever, too.
because he went to UW.
No. My point though is like, do we just disregard everything that happened before those guys
no,
got hurt?
absolutely not.
So I think it's
Yes
gonna be
and
more
no.
of a mess.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. I think maybe you wait it out
Achane's
with Achane.
involved, but I still think it's gonna be committee, like big time committee.
I don't think you start Achane next week against Buffalo.
can't.
I think you wait it out and see what his snap percentage is when all 4 guys can potentially.
I
play.
got lucky and picked him up this morning before kickoff in a league. And I'm just like, should I try to trade him for somebody?
That's what I was
You know,
gonna
like-
say next, Trent.
Yeah,
Like
you could
that's
sell
some-
high.
Yeah.
You could
Well,
sell.
here's the thing though. If now obviously Buffalo's a lot different matchup than what they had today, but
if you're gonna sell him,
if
sell him right
Ahmed
now.
Wilson's out still, I think he has to miss the first 4 games. So he's missing 1 more game.
Okay.
If Ahmed's out again next week, then I think you can possibly use Achane.
I think McDaniel is the best play caller right now. You watch him, that scheme and speed. He has Tyreek Hill going in motion like the CFL. Like he's running full speed at the snap, basically. It is really cool. to
Yes,
watch.
Trent, but they also offense was really bad a week ago.
Against New England, yeah.
So like yes, but no. Like they looked really, really good. Week 1 they played the Chargers, who like we can see they have no defense.
Yeah.
And they looked really, really good against the Broncos, who are just I don't know what
Dumpster fire.
It's a disaster. And then, but they struggled against New England. New England bottled up Tyreek Hill. Like Tua did not look good last week. Mostert was the reason why they won't, right? And so, I guess that's just my question. Like, yes, I feel like there's a little bit of like, yes, they're probably the best offense in the league, but also like a product of 2 of the teams they played, right? Like, I don't know.
Look,
The
we have at the end of the year we have a award show. You know, Congo line touchdown dance was really good today.
That
The
was a good
Dolphins, the Dolphins did a Congo line
Oh, I didn't
after
see
one
that.
of their touchdowns. They
really
all got
cool.
around, did a Congo line. Then the lineman spiked it. I thought it was cool.
So the Commanders didn't. Brian Robertson 10 carries, 70 yards. They rushed the leading rusher for the Jets. Brees Hall ended up with like over 100 yards. Like one of those guys is going to have over 100 yards. I would say this upcoming week though.
Who do they play?
They play the Bills.
Though the Dolphins
Oh,
play
you're
the
talking
Bills.
about Dolphins.
Dolphins play the Bills.
Yeah. So one of those guys has a good
Yeah.
It's a different team, but one of those guys could have over 100 yards easily.
Yes. The Washington, man. Sam Howell's bad.
They were 3 points away today, 2 points away from breaking the all-time scoring record, and they could have kicked the field goal and did it.
Dolphins.
And they just nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which he should have. I can't believe McDaniels didn't do that.
What was
It would
it?
have been great to see him and Sean
Most-
Payton fight at the end of the game.
It was the most. It was the most total yards by an offense, I think, since like 1951 or something. Which
No, it's literally like
738 or
it's
something.
literally like what you think when like USC plays New Mexico or something, like 70-20. Not-
Is
yeah.
Achane said in his interview, he's like,
Yes.
Achane literally said it was like playing a video game.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like when you think USC is gonna play Southern Utah, like
Yeah.
not the 2 professional football teams.
Yeah. So Jordan, this is what I said. Is it worse to lose with him on your bench or to get completely throttled by some Yahoo who started him? Like, what's the worst? What's a worse?
It's worse
feeling?
to get throttled by Yahoo to start it.
Who started him,
Yes,
right?
100%.
Like possibly Trent
because like
did.
because you
I kept him on my bench. I'm so
Okay,
mad.
never
Yeah.
mind.
because you shouldn't have started.
That's what I'm
Achane.
saying. That's what I'm saying. But if for some reason you're playing the worst player in the league,
I think
and
it
he
might
just
be worse to
happened
get throttled by Mostert. Like, I don't think anyone thought Mostert was going to put up that
I thought
performance.
most was in a pretty
I
good
thought
spot.
we talked about him last week about having
Yeah,
a
but I
decent
don't know
game.
if anyone thought he was going to have, like, that good of a game. Like,
Well, I
5
mean,
touchdowns.
no one
Yeah.
can think he's going to score 4 touchdowns. That's not reasonable
It's
to think
5, I
someone's going to
think.
score. I think he had 4.
Yeah, it was
me-
4. It was 4.
But
Yeah,
like Mostert
AJ
was in a good spot though.
Achane was running back 1. Mostert was running back 2.
No, both running backs combined for over 100 points.
Achane had 55 and Mostert had 41.
In PPR, they both combined over
that's
100.
that's everything, like all positions. Keenan Allen with a huge day, 41 points, and he threw a touchdown.
Sleeper made an announcement saying if you only played Dolphins players this week, you scored 200 points. If you only played Dolphins players.
So would that be Tua, the running backs, Tyreek, probably you just fill out the
Gesicki,
roster with
or whoever you fill out the rest of the
Smithy,
roster.
Smythe.
You
and
probably only needed 5
Barrios.
players to start, and you scored
Yeah.
200 points.
The kicker probably had.
He had 10 points, only extra points.
Yeah,
That's all he had. Sanders had 10 extra points.
That is awesome.
Is that the record for most extra points?
I didn't.
That might be.
It has to be, right? Because there's the
let
most
me look,
point.
let me
Oh,
look.
no, because that one. Maybe it is.
Well, that would it'd have to be the most touchdowns.
It'd have to be because 72 is the record, so it's maybe
Probably,
it's close.
or at least tied. I would imagine.
Converts all 10 extra points.
So Jordan, I will move on, and this is a little bit of a human interest story. We're talking Chiefs, Bears. We did have a sit in that game. Trent had the Bears, which he had the
Running
Bears
backs.
running
We don't
backs
even
as a
need to
sit.
talk
We
about it.
don't need to talk about it. This is a little
I'm
bit.
guessing they both suck, Trent.
They both had. Yeah, they were not good.
Roshan
Good
Johnson.
call.
Yeah. So here's what I'm saying though. I think everyone's talking about it, like the T Swift Travis Kelsey thing. Like, is it a joke? Like, are they playing into this or like?
I don't think you can.
It was kind of obnoxious them showing her.
Robbie
Like-
Chosen had a. Sorry.
They've been dating for 2 weeks, and she's like already just going bananas. In the
Did you see the
up
clip
in the
of her
booth.
like smacking the window?
Yeah, with Travis Kelsey's
What
mom
the-
and stuff.
He scored a touchdown. She's like hitting the
Oh,
window.
she's going crazy. Like she's been a Chiefs fan her whole life.
It's
Like,
more
it just
funny when I
seems-
see her next to his mom, though. I thought that was hilarious.
That's just it's interesting.
yeah.
She's trying really hard to be the most hated person in the Chiefs stadium, ahead of Pat. Did you see the meme? It had a Spider-Man climbing on the wall, and it said Jackson Mahomes trying to get in the Kelsey suite.
Oh, also, my wife asked Trent, "Did you make that meme of like the kids, like the Taylor Swift fans watching their first NFL game ever?"
And then the
Did
Chiefs
you
just,
make that meme?
I made a meme today about Taylor Swift, but I don't think I made that one.
Oh, did you just share it?
Yeah, I just shared it. Yeah, I just shared it.
It'd be great if you just shared the original author.
Like, look at this picture, Phil. That's
Who
her
is-
at the
who is-
game.
who is
I
that?
don't know who she's with.
Who?
Taylor Swift. Like, just acting
That's,
like
I think that's Kelsey's. Is it his sister?
maybe it's his sister.
it's not the
Because
brother's
she
wife.
was in the family suite. It was like the mom, Taylor Swift, and that lady right there.
That's a good one. I like that one.
yeah. So
I don't know. You guys hate on it a lot more than I do. I don't really
Oh,
care.
you're a Swiftie. I forgot.
I'm a Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift. So, I don't know. Good for Travis Kelsey.
Yeah, good for him.
All right, let's keep going through, then we'll keep going with our.
Yes,
So
well,
that's
that
not
was
the show or every game though.
yeah. No, it's,
Yeah.
it's
Did you see what Patrick Mahomes said after the game?
He felt nervous that
He felt pressure that he had to give a
deliver.
touchdown pass. He said,
He
"I
felt like
think."
he had to throw to Kelsey.
Yeah, he said, "I think Travis felt wanted it just as much as all the Swifties wanted it for him."
Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know what we're supposed to do with that information.
That's
Telling
what
you
he
it. That's what he
said.
said. That's word for word what he said.
It's funny too.
yeah. All right. You guys find something a little bit different, funny than I do. That's
Uh,
all
did
right.
we-
So no, we got one more.
We got one more. sitting there.
Najee Harris, Trent.
One of mine.
Dude, Najee and Jaylin Warren both had like
Yeah,
the
let's
same
just
amount of points. They both had 6.5 apiece. Like, it's just a mess back there, right?
Here's the problem, and we talked about this pre-show, Trent. It's so clear who's the better running back is. It's not even close, but they're stubborn. They're not going to do it. They're just not going to it tonight. Warren had 8 attempts for 29 yards. Can you have the Najee stats pulled up?
The stats, I don't, but I can pull it right
I
here.
can pull it
The problem is it's like you almost, if you want Warren to do good, The game needs to be out of reach.
They need to be behind.
Yeah.
So
Najee was 19 for 65.
19 for 65. So he ended up actually having a better second half. The first half he was horrible.
He had one big run.
He had one big run. Warren had 3 catches for 23 yards on 4 targets.
8 carries for 29
Yeah.
yards.
So
you had Warren as a start.
I had
Oh,
Warren
you
as a
didn't. I
start.
had Harris as a sit.
And the report earlier today was that he's gonna have a bigger role, and he didn't have a bigger role. And I don't know what's going. We can't unless we think they're gonna be getting killed in the game. We can't play Warren.
Yeah, and we need like one of them to almost get hurt, which you hate to say, but the best case scenario for these guys, if you have Warren, is best ball. And the best place to play best ball is Underdog, guys. So go over to Underdog. Tell them the dudes sent you. Enter promo code DUDES, and they will match you up to $100. We do a draft every week on the show here. It's a lot of fun. Phill won this week.
won, yeah.
You can do drafts as little as $3. Just a nice little snake draft with some buddies or people you don't even know. But Underdog is a ton of fun. Go check it out. The drafts are great. And we did some best ball drafts, in the off season. It really helped me, know where guys were going in drafts and stuff like that. So definitely go to Underdog, check it out. They got all kinds of fun fantasy stuff.
I wanted to. You want to see something, Trent?
Yeah.
Speaking of Devin Achane, you want to know who my highest running back drafted in all my best balls is?
Achane?
Devin Achane.
Nice.
47% drafted out of my on my 20 teams in that $5 puppy. 50% Devin Achane.
Nice.
So,
Hopefully it keeps rolling.
but also I have 42% Jaylin Warren.
Rip.
Yeah, 23% DeAndre Swift.
Phil's over here just
I'm
looking
looking.
at
No,
his-
I'm looking at that roster for that puppy. Trent is by far behind all of us. It goes Jordan, then me, then Seth, and then Trent.
All right, well, quit bragging.
Anyhow,
what do we got
All right,
next,
no, we
Phil?
got one more. Seth, we have one more start for Setherton over here.
Yeah, so I said start Josh Jacobs. I guess I thought maybe this game was not going to be like it wasn't close until like the end. So maybe I thought he'd had 17 attempts for 62, so not the best.
9.5
Josh
point-
Jacobs killed me
he
tonight.
could've had a
17 attempts. You're on the right trail.
No, I was on the right trail. He could have had a touchdown in the red zone. He just got stuffed, and
It was a horrible play call,
that
but
touchdown would have salvaged.
It leads me to like the
It would have
Raiders-
made my start look better. Than
tons
9
of penalties
points.
in that game.
The Raiders are just not good.
Do they miss Derek Carr? Like, would they be a little bit better? They probably still lose, but
maybe,
like
maybe not.
Devontae had a great game.
Devontae's QB and matchup proof. That's what that's saying.
Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, Devontae's, I was a little worried about Devontae coming into the year, and it doesn't matter.
yeah, looks good.
He's too good. He's elite at what he does. His route
he's
running.
amazing, yeah.
Talk about another. I'll give them a little bit of credit, Trent. Like, I know there's some Raider fans who aren't happy with the play calling, but they are kind of like they use Devontae the same way they use Tyreek Hill. They get him open. They do a lot of creative stuff with them. They do a good job of trying to get him open. Even that second touchdown he had, it was like vintage, like almost like they watched the film with him and Aaron Rodgers.
And
So it was like the same route.
Jimmy G had a solid fantasy game. He had 20 fantasy
Yeah.
points, but he threw 3 picks, so that's 6 points less than what he should have. And his
Takes a lot of sacks.
his last pick was terrible.
Oh, it was so bad.
Oh yeah.
To lose the game like that, to just I don't know.
Honestly, I think they came out deflated though after that dude dropped the punt and almost gave it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
see that?
also, too, I think for what it's worth, if you can kick a field goal with 3 minutes and something time left, and then you take the penalty and decide to just kick it with 2 something left,
Yeah,
I'm like, you might as well just kick it in the first place.
Yeah,
and you
don't
have more
take
time.
points off the board, right?
Don't take points off the board if you're going to decide to kick it later instead of go for it.
I don't want to go in full conspiracy theory here.
Tanking.
No.
Caleb Williams.
No, guys, we have 2 games in back-to-back weeks where coaches kicking field goals has significant outcomes on the betting market.
Oh yeah, no, it has.
Last week, the Rams covered with the field goal.
And
When
it,
they had no
made,
business-
it made
made
no
no
sense.
sense.
It made no sense.
Today, that field goal made no sense when you're down 8 points. But you know what it did? It kept the under intact at 44. Like, I'm not trying to say that
No, I think there's some
something
fishy business. Yes.
Like, you don't make those
Do you think there is?
Oh yeah, the Rams game last week. They
That
were
one is
No,
the,
but-
that
but
one's
Phil-
the weirdest.
That one was
one's
weird.
No,
Yeah.
Phil, this one's almost weirder.
This one's weirder. This one is
You're
Vegas.
8 points.
It is Vegas.
This is Vegas. You're in Vegas.
Phil, 8 points, 4th and 4 from the 10.
It's fourth and 4, 4th and 5.
Oh, I'm all about.
It was a little bit more. It was a little bit more than a 10.
What does the field goal do there? Because even if you get the ball back, what do you still have to do?
So, but take
You
me
still
down,
have to
take me-
score a
take me-
touchdown.
Take me
But
down
let
the
me say
rabbit
this,
hole.
though.
Take me down the rabbit
No,
hole.
you don't need a tinfoil hat. Like
The
this
under
makes it too easy to make money.
Phil, the under was at 44.
Yeah, but who's making the money off it? Do you think?
Anybody?
Someone does the coach? Does the coach have
The
his
thing
brother
is,
making a huge bet? Like my point
As
though
long as
is,
there's no text message and it's by word of mouth,
No one
then
knows.
there's no proof.
Yeah.
There's no
or
proof.
the coach just knows his dad says, "Hey, I got a big bet on the under today." You know, like I'm just saying, like I don't want to like. It's just fishy. Like there is something like
It's going to keep getting talked about more and more.
Back-to-back weeks where coaching decisions that make no sense to kick field goals affect the betting outcome of the game. Like the under, because if they score there, the under pushes at 44. If they get the 2-point conversion, the under's dead. Or they kick the under's dead on an extra point or 2-point conversion. And you're pushing at 44 if they get the touchdown.
The NFL wanted all these gambling sponsorships, right? This is
Yeah,
just
and
kinda
I'm not. I'm just pointing out like it's just weird.
No, it's a solid take, and it's true. Like it doesn't make sense, and it's like
Because there's no business kicking a field goal there. Because even if you go down, you kick a field goal, you're still down 5. You still have to score a touchdown.
So we think Roger Goodell is like kind of just giving these guys like maybe a little bit of a bump if they keep it within the odds.
That's
or
not
what?
Roger. I'm not talking Roger Goodell.
it could be the water boy. Like hey, like just in passing, like I took the
Yeah,
under.
I doubt it's the water boy.
but it could be anyone.
Yeah, like it literally could be that guy's buddy is.
It could be McDaniel's
But, like-
chauffeur or something. Like you
Yeah.
know, like it could be anything.
You are starting to go farther down the rabbit hole than I can.
There's definitely a lot more money than like a chauffeur. Like there's a lot of money on these
Yeah,
games.
I just think
the
it's
Rams
wild.
one could be worse.
the Rams one.
I think
looks
that one
worse.
it looks worse. I think.
There's no point.
Yeah.
The Rams one, like it's an easy because it's like, hey Sean, his buddy's like, I'm betting you guys to cover the spread against the who was it against? The Niners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm betting you guys to cover the spread. Like
Yeah, you guys are supposed to get killed.
So
yeah.
maybe you had a gentleman's bet with Shanahan. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they threw some money.
Definitely
on the
not. They're not doing gentlemen bet.
Gentleman's bet has
line. You
no
definitely
bet.
wouldn't know anything about that. Go
Says
ahead.
the guy
No,
wearing sandals.
we've probably gotten down the rabbit hole enough, but it's just back-to-back weeks where
comfy.
field goals, coaches kicking field goals has significant consequences from the betting market, and it just looks a little weird.
Yeah. I agree. Is that all our starts and sits, Phil?
That is
is.
all of our. I look at how efficient that I was able to get us through.
Phil, I will
navigate.
clap it up. That was probably one of your better hostings.
It was a very good
It was
hosting
very
job.
smooth. It was very smooth. The transitions.
No, I appreciate it, and that's that's something that we work on. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that you work on your physical appearance.
I already did a
All right,
manscaping
no,
promo.
I was trying to.
Should I just put this thing between us and you can?
Phil, I prefer if you didn't look down at Trent.
My eyes are up here. Problems in Jacksonville, Jordan. You know how are you
man.
feeling? Like you're making a lot of fun of Dak Prescott for a team that lost to the Texans, which are just a little bit better than the Cardinals. And they had his line.
Trevor Lawrence sucks,
Is
man.
Calvin
Like,
Ridley hurt? Like what's
I
going
think
on?
maybe he's. No, I'm not. I can't say that. That's mean. But
Hey, for what it's worth, though, I did text
He
Trent on PFF. He had one of the worst wide receiver one matchups with the cornerback he was playing against.
he
was
dropped.
Stingley?
He dropped a wide open touchdown at the start of the game.
Oh,
If he catches that ball, how much different is the game?
Yeah,
Probably.
absolutely.
It's just that they're just in their own way. I think they're in their heads. I'll be honest. I went all on Jaguars and Survivor, so I have
You're out of the Survivor
3
fund.
entries in one pool dead. The other 2 entries in the other pool dead. So
That's terrible.
I'm out. I went all on the Jaguars. I just did not think they would do this, and they're not a good team right now. And so I think Travis Etienne pretty much told the media, "We suck. We got to own it. Like
Yeah.
we're not good."
And Etienne had 15.
Etienne was good, and honestly, they should have.
They didn't give him the TD though. Tank Bixby got the TD.
Yeah.
got it.
So Tank, if you started Tank, you got 7 fantasy points today, and Etienne had 15. without
Etienne
the-
looked really good though, running the ball. I don't know. I really don't know what the deal is. I will say I think CJ Stroud has made significant strides in 2 weeks.
Stroud looks good, and his roster.
Tank Dell's a stud. Tank Dell is a must own, I think, right now. I don't know what his rostership is, Trent.
Yeah, CJ Stroud is 38 or 32% rostered, QB 19 on the season, but he's back-to-back 22 plus.
Well,
You know
What
what's
is-
hurt? You know what's hurt his fantasy year is actually the amount of sacks and fumbles he's taken.
Yeah, Tank Dell is 47%
He needs to be up in the 80%.
He hasn't thrown an interception.
Yeah,
CJ Stroud.
They're playing the Steelers this week.
Oh, we just saw what Devontae Adams did. Like, and Jacoby Myers. Like, Jacoby Myers is a good game. Like, CJ Stroud,
Nico Collins came down to earth today.
yeah, it was a bummer. I think it's just, but here's the thing with Texans, they still can't run the football. And I don't think they're going to be able to run the football next week against the Steelers. So, Damian Pierce, yeah, they're just, Stroud's having to throw. And so it's leading to good, yeah. Tank Dell is, he's really good. I mean, he was obviously really good in college too. So at Houston, but,
Another
yeah, Jaguars just tough. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think that, are they,
They're 1-2. The Colts are
So-
2-1. So that's your
Jaguars are playing the Falcons in London
They
next
really
week.
they really needed to win today, next week, and then the Bills is going to be tough, and they had another decent, like favorable matchup.
I will say the Bills at least is their Jaguars have back-to-back games in Europe.
Well,
so
we thought it was
yeah,
going to be.
and Jacksonville doesn't lose at home, so there's
Wait, is that next week?
they have back-to-back. Yeah,
Man, I'm so excited to wake up early and watch NFL. I
7
love
a.m.
this.
it is pretty
I
fun.
know.
You get up at
6 a.m. or
6:30,
6 a.m.
6:30, watch the game.
I'm so excited. I always go get Starbucks and come back home and watch it. I'm so excited.
not a sponsor.
Not
No,
a
I'm just
sponsor.
kidding.
Not-
What
Black
was I?
Rifle?
Yeah, no.
Black
I
Ri-
have no
Black
idea.
Rifle?
Tom's Donuts would be very clutch.
Tom's
That would
Donuts
be
would
so
be a
NIL deal with Tom's
Just
Donuts.
maybe this isn't a funny story, but the Bears Soldier
Should we
Field
live stream? Should we live stream the 6:30 a.m. game? Come
Seth,
on,
that's
All
actually
our
not a
West
bad
Coast
we
idea.
get donuts.
Yeah.
Donuts with the dudes.
Yes.
TBS,
Sorry, that segment sounds way too good.
and way too real.
Come on, Trent.
Way
You know
too
you want
real.
to now.
Yeah.
I do
Football
want
and
to do it.
donuts. What else do you like
I,
more?
watch
in
me
life?
feed Trent donuts.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
well,
donut holes. Guys, Bears Soldier Stadium.
grapes.
You guys saw Soldier Stadium got robbed.
I was just like,
yes,
Did you saw Soldier Stadium
Yes.
got robbed? Like I thought they just stole like some footballs and pylons or something.
$100,000 worth of
They
equipment,
stole
right?
like a gator. They
Yeah.
like took down the fence and stole like vehicles, like gators and golf
$100,000
carts,
worth of equipment.
Like it's nuts.
I would imagine it has like some bear stuff. Like, do you repaint it so you don't get it like?
I doubt that stuff has bears. Like,
I'm
Chicago-
guessing I think these guys are selling it for cash.
Chicago can't even defend their stadium. You know, like this is like they went and stole all their golf
Well, you know what
carts.
happened at the
and-
White Sox stadium, right? Someone got shot and they don't know where from.
What?
You didn't hear about that?
in the game.
In the stands, this girl got shot through her thigh. It went out her bottom and hit someone else below her. Like they don't know how she got shot, but she got shot. Like this girl
That
got
sounds
shot.
like someone like
I don't know
she
if
had.
someone popped off in the air and the bullet came back down
yeah,
and hit
that's
her.
what happened.
That's
But they don't they actually don't know where it came from. If you watch the video, the girl like stands up and she doesn't realize she got shot.
Yeah, Chicago's
Yeah,
just
it's- it's
Chicago's a wild place.
How do you get accidentally shot at a baseball game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Chicago. The other thing is the Bears look.
They're awful.
They're awful. DJ Moore
so
saved you with the
bad.
touchdown at the end. Justin
so
Fields said
bad.
the Lions started out 1-6 last year. Don't count us out yet, but I don't know. They look rough. Fields
It's a
isn't
little
even
bit
like
of a different 1-6.
Fields isn't even like running though. Like I want him to like start. I think
Did
he
he
needs to
run
start-
today at all?
Let me look
He
at his
tried.
stats.
I
If
think.
you
he
have
just looks lost.
yeah, if you have Justin Fields, well, he got concussed, right? Like
Oh, I didn't
or
know that.
something.
He came back in the game.
Because DJ Moore had to like help him not walk into the ref.
He had 11 carries for 47 yards.
I think he needs to start running more, and maybe that might open stuff up. I can't believe he's QB 17
What's
on the
interesting
season.
too is his picks. He's had 4 interceptions in 3 games, 3 fumbles. So like you're losing points with these picks and fumbles here. Otherwise, these numbers do look a little bit better.
Did CJ Stroud take over for him?
He just was the guy after him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sorry,
The-
yes.
the
yes,
next guy
sorry.
after he
followed
graduated.
him,
Well,
yeah.
guys, we're going to know if Justin Fields actually is bad.
He plays Denver.
He
next
plays
week.
Denver next week.
Okay.
Might be my start of the
We
week.
got the toilet bowl next week, guys. Denver and Chicago.
Please tell me it's
It's
prime
the
time.
loser gets Caleb Williams, guys.
Loser gets Caleb.
All right, we're gonna do a little "Who Hurt You" a little segment. Jordan Broughton It's brought to you by Trophy Smack. Trophy Smack is the dude's favorite place to get our fantasy football trophies, ribbons, participation awards, last place punishments, all your things that you need to bring your fantasy football league up to the next level. Enter www.trophysmack.com/dudes for 15% off your whole entire order, guys. It's not too late to get that nice trophy for your fantasy football league. So go to trophysmack.com/dudes and tell them we sent you, I guess. All right. So who hurt you, Jordan? This is this can be from a DFS standpoint, sleeper, underdog, your fantasy football league,
friendship.
Man, it's like the second week in a row where it's like
I want to make
Jaguars,
it
it's Jaguars, and it's like all over the place. Like Survivor, like I mentioned. I mean, I had a really good lineup in DFS this week. Like, look at this lineup. It's Justin Herbert stacked with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. It's a Madison on the bring back, so it's not horrible. Mostert, Tank Dell, Zach Ertz sucked, but then the other spend up was Calvin Ridley. Like, and it's just like 7 points. Like,
if you spent up on who else could you get for that price?
I'd have to like look here in the flex. I could have like moved some things around probably. I probably could have got to like, yeah, I'd have to like really like Olave even for the same as 21.4, but I probably would never have got there. But it's just like the offense was so bad. You know, like, oh, I could have just played Travis Kelce right there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's just frustrating. Like, I had some Bijan, he hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it's just like, I had a lot of Josh Kelly. He sucked. Josh Kelly, honestly, is another one up there for me. Like, I have him, have him in a season-long team.
It just proves how good Eckler is, I think.
Yeah.
They need to pay him.
But other than that, like, the Jaguars Survivor was probably the most like tilting thing today.
I'm gonna say the Cowboys for me.
And that makes sense. I was gonna say that.
That hurt me on my starts and sits. I think if the game's if they need to throw the ball, the Cardinals do. Zach Ertz gets involved, 33% target share. Whereas they're up and they're down, they don't run the ball with Connor.
I have Mark Andrews is just somebody like. The game went into overtime. The guy had four catches for 35 yards. He just hasn't really had that blow-up game yet, and maybe Lamar's to blame. Like Lamar I was high on Lamar.
And 2 touchdowns.
Lamar had 30 fantasy points today.
He ran for 102 touchdowns. So that's the problem there is Lamar, when he was in trouble, ran the ball. And maybe too, like the Andrews does get his chance if Flowers gets that holding call at the end of the game. Like that was a blatant holding call. So maybe Andrews gets 2 targets after that. And
then, he missed the first game. He is tight end 11 on the season. So I'm thinking he's going to start coming through here pretty soon. But yeah, I'm going to say Mark Andrews, just be a little different, to not say like Cowboys or, something a little different. Garrett Wilson. Like I think this Matt, like I was a week early on my sit of the week on Garrett Wilson. Like I think he had.
Zach Wilson's horrible.
He had really bad game. They
were upset. Did you see the sideline little?
They had a fight, a little scuffle,
little argument.
Yeah, that's the right word. So Garrett Wilson had
5 for 48 on 9 targets. Targets are there.
The targets are there just enough that I think you can keep playing them. But the Jets play the Chiefs next week, so maybe he has a garbage touchdown.
Yeah, you might get something.
Touchdown.
They're gonna have to make a change at some point at quarterback here.
Yeah, they said Matt Ryan and Wentz reached out to the Jets. The Jets aren't ready though at the moment.
Where is Matt Ryan even signed?
No, he's not. Derek Carr's another guy who hurt me. I did a sleeper play on him to have over 21.5 completions. He was at 13 and got hurt.
Really?
So,
Matt Ryan reached out?
He
said he wants to be in the booth.
Oh, maybe that's what is that what
he said?
I thought I
4
saw
months ago.
today.
He said he's joining a broadcast booth.
He is in the booth.
So he's maybe alerted that he'd like to play still.
I thought I saw something on Twitter from somebody that Matt Ryan reached out. Free 8. Yeah. Okay, maybe on Sleeper I'm not seeing anything. I saw something from a tweet. From
okay, but here's a recent quote. I just learned in the 15 years I played to not shut any doors. So basically saying if I get a chance to play again, I will. Basically. And Wentz makes sense too. So
Trent, going back to another hurtful decision I made, and I actually texted this in the group chat. my 2v2 on my main, one of my main DFS teams was Alexander Madison and Christian Kirk versus Tank Dell and Keenan Allen, and I chose wrong. That was a very
I also
hurtful
encouraged
decision.
you with the wrong decision.
Yeah, I was leaning that way anyways.
I think
but-
you could say Bijan Robinson. He had
Yeah, I kind of said that one. I had him
Yeah.
in one of my main teams.
I'm actually surprised that the Lions did that well on holding him to 3 points. I mean, maybe they just stacked the box, made him pass, exposed the passing game.
they tried to get Kyle Pitts involved a little bit more today. He had 6 fantasy points, 5 catches, 9 targets. He had a carry, so like Arthur Smith is drawing up handoffs for Kyle Pitts, which is interesting. But hoping George Pickens gets involved a little bit more.
Oh,
here
also,
eventually.
let me say this too. Zach Ertz got tackled on the 1 yard line on a shovel pass.
I saw that.
I was hoping for that touchdown so bad.
Hoping for
just
the
so I wouldn't
bailout
look so
touchdown.
It gets to
bad.
the point where it's like you almost care just as much about your picks as you do about, you know what I mean? 'Cause you
Yeah,
don't-
no, I was like, guys,
No one
I
wants
was,
to face
I
the
looked
music.
at my phone. I was like, oh, like the Cardinals are winning. Like Zach Ertz must be like having a good game. He has 1 point, and then I'm like 10 minutes later, I see the shovel pass. I'm like, please.
Lots of shuffle passes today. Tua had that nice shuffle pass for a touchdown to who was that? To?
Is it Achane or
Achane.
Mostert?
It was
I think it was
A-Chain. It
A-Chain.
was a nice little shuffle, and it looked weird because it was with his right hand. It was cool
Yeah.
looking.
Did the Cardinals hurt you today, Trent? Is that one of the teams?
Well,
that-
he said Cowboys, so I didn't think I could. I guess I
I
could
think
say
it was more your own
Cardinals.
team than the Cardinals.
Yeah. First win for Dobbs.
Dobbs actually, I'll be honest, hasn't looked too bad this
He
year.
hasn't. And the Cardinals, like
They're playing a lot harder than I thought they were
They're playing
going to.
harder, and they've blown 2 games. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Yeah.
actually playing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, they should have won last week.
it's going to be a shocker when
The defense looks good.
Yeah, they're playing a lot harder than I thought they were going to.
and Kyler Murray gets back and they just continue to lose, though. I guarantee it. Like,
yeah.
Kyler Murray had an Instagram post this week though, talking about how much he misses playing, and
He
like,
looked pretty
just
happy
wants
for
to
the
be out
team. He's
there.
out there on the
Yeah.
sidelines.
So
paying attention.
Well, he knows he's
Listening
gonna play
ears.
when he comes back.
yeah. Anything, Phil? Who hurt you today? Are you like
No,
Seahawks won?
See, I'm feeling pretty good about today, actually. I am, I'm feeling good. I didn't have anyone that really hurt me. I also didn't go.
Well, the
I did
night's
no
young.
betting
There's
today.
still time for that, Phil.
I did no betting today.
Okay. All right, you guys, any divas here to wrap up the show? This divas, if you're new to the episode, these are things that just kind of tick us off throughout the day. It could be football related. It doesn't have to be football related, but stuff that just bugs us, or, maybe sometimes we're even the diva. And if you want some waiver wires, I will have a waiver wire pod coming out on Tuesday. Remember, the biggest compliment you can give us is to share us with a friend, So don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out. Give us a thumbs up and like. Subscribe to us on YouTube, guys. But yeah. Jordan, you got something you want to share? That's been
Yeah.
heavy on your heart?
Heavy on your heart.
It's a pretty honestly, it's pretty crazy. So I was on the plane ride from Seattle to Anchorage,
plane flight,
plane flight. What did I say?
ride.
Oh, okay. Same thing, but
I could be a diva for that, making that distinction. I'll let you
okay.
continue.
And I will admit that I was being a little bit nosy, but I just happened to the guy was, taller dude, and he had the phone kind of up, pretty high, and I was in the middle seat behind, and he was so it was person in front to the left
Yeah.
row in front of me.
So it's
clear
right between
view,
the
clear
seats.
view.
Yeah, so
His
right
phone
between
is
the
looking
seats.
at you.
Yes. And
So you weren't even being
You can't.
nosy.
You can't help it.
I just couldn't help it, and so he pulls up, and I notice he's on a dating app, and so there's pretty attractive,
Curiosity kicks in.
pretty attractive girls. So I was like, oh, okay.
Not a sponsor of the pod.
not a sponsor.
The app is
And
not
so-
called Curiosity
No,
Kicks In. By the
no,
way.
that's not the app.
Do not look that up.
That might be our other podcast name.
Anyway, so long story short, I start just kind of looking every once in a while, and this guy's and then I see him he starts texting 10 different girls all at once. And I'm like, man, this guy has some serious game,
got some riz.
and then he's
Riz.
he's flipping back to the dating app, matching with girls left and right. I'm like, this guy's doing all this on a plane ride right now.
Were you taking notes?
I
like,
was, I was
strategy-wise?
starting to take notes a little bit, okay, this guy, whatever. So I'm like, man, this
You
guy
went to
is-
give him a fist
this
bump
guy,
after
this
the
guy's
flight.
going to town. So, but then about halfway through the flight, we were waiting on the tarmac for an hour because there was some maintenance going on the plane, and it was a weird about 45 minutes into it. Some girl 2 rows up turns to look at him and ask him why are we stopped? You know, and he didn't really say anything, and he's still doing his thing on the phone, and sort of the whole plane ride, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I think like he might be with that girl. And so I'm like, man, this is weird. Cause like they started like making eye contact and like he like talked to her one time when he got up. And I'm like, okay, either this guy's just spitting more game or he's like with this girl.
Maybe he just met her on the app.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
That's a
he matched.
possibility.
Possibility.
So I'm like,
Glass half
okay,
full.
whatever. So we go to baggage
FYI,
claim.
I'm 2 seats behind you.
You know, we go to baggage claim or whatever. And they are 100% a couple. 100% a couple, walk out of the airport. This guy is the biggest scumbag, dirtbag of all time.
Yeah.
Texting probably 15 different girls on the plane while his
So Jordan
whatever,
takes back this guy's
whatever the
game
girl,
until he's a
yeah.
scumbag.
Hopefully
take
he's
it
not
back.
our listener.
Yeah.
Did you
honestly,
slip? Did you
if
like
he is,
slip
I don't
her a-
care. Like,
did you slip the significant other a note or something?
I did not. You know, but yeah, it was very. It was one of the most like
It's
weird,
very low.
very weird like things I've ever like seen. Like I was like, man, this guy is like he's going to town right now, and then turns out he's on the plane with his girlfriend the whole time. So
That is.
I mean, I guess I don't know for sure it's his girlfriend, but you know, definitely looked like
Seemed
they were
like
a
it.
couple.
Body
You know,
body
they
language.
flew to Alaska together, right? So you can take whatever that means. Yeah, it's a pretty crazy.
Do you have?
I
any-
would say major diva. You guys
Have
agree
you
with
talked
that?
to
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
else? Have you talked to anyone else and been like, "Wow, that's insane"?
Yeah, I told a couple people, and they're
They were just like, were they shocked or were they just like, "Yeah, that's like standard practice in today's day and age"?
I think more shocked.
Like that's insane.
like it's pretty bold to like.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
sick. Really, to be quite honest with you, that's sick.
Seth, you got anything that can top that, or do you have anything at all? You know, you're a birthday boy. Did someone did you not get a good present? You know, was the cake dry? Like, you know, you get-
Under seasoned steak.
No, like all my food was good. I will say that I wasn't very impressed about the cake I got at Vintage Press though.
really.
Don't want to throw them under the bus. The espresso ice cream there was amazing though.
Yeah.
But the cake, I was like, it's okay.
Mid.
It was mid.
Cake can be tough.
It was like I'm not a big fan of dark chocolate, and it was like a I don't know technically what the flavor of the
Flavor profile?
the cake actually was, but like on the outside was dark chocolate, and I'm a big dark chocolate guy, but even like the cake on the inside wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Dark chocolate cake is a bold move in my opinion. Like not many people
Like
dark-
some people do.
I think
though.
I think most people like dark chocolate, and so I just don't.
Dark
when I eat
chocolate's
cake,
like
though,
a
I don't-
fancier thing too, though. That's a pretty fancy restaurant.
Yeah, I just didn't really. I just was hoping I'd get like a really good piece of cake at a really good restaurant, and I guess dark chocolate maybe is one of them. One that's like you can really miss on that one.
Yeah.
Whereas like you go with milk chocolate, almost everyone likes milk chocolate.
Phil, do you have anything?
No, this is this is my third week in a row without anything. Huh?
And the thing is, I know you do have something. You just, you know, your brain's not functioning at 100%
It's because
right now.
it's 10 p.m. I'm gonna use your excuse.
That's fine.
Maybe if you say something, it'll fire me up. But let me hear.
You're going to agree with mine, but mine is just commercials during the football game. You know, I'm watching these commercials and these, you know, you're watching with your kid. You know, I have a 2-year-old and these like Exorcist commercials come on and it's
I
like,
agree.
you got to change the
Yes.
channel. You know, it's like your kids
Before the
have
kids up
nightmare-
at 3 a.m. and
Yeah.
Like turn on the movie ones,
like the
movies?
movie, like the
Yeah.
movie
Because it's
like,
Halloween time.
Yeah, these Halloween commercials are just terrible. If you got kids, you know, you know, if you have kids watching the game, maybe
Yes.
they shouldn't be watching
And
or
how,
whatever.
what
But
happens
it's like,
if you're like in the other room? You know.
No,
well,
football.
that's-
no,
that's-
no.
There's
Yeah,
been
that's-
times
that's
where
what
my
I-
wife has gotten mad at
They
me
should be
because I'm
watching.
using the restroom, and she's like, "What is on the TV?" And I'm like, "I'm peeing."
no, but like that happened today. I had to
I
go take
agree.
my other daughter to her room to go to sleep, and I left the other one in there. I'm like, shoot, like there might just be like you know that scary commercial I've been turning off the whole day, But it is a nice thing about Red Zone is you don't have the commercials, so normally I'll go back that, but I forgot, and I'm like, oh man, and my daughter like doesn't always like watching the football, but she like really wants to watch the commercials. You know what I'm
Yes, for
saying?
sure.
So it's like you have that battle of turning that off. But yeah, the scary commercials that are like that Exorcist one's freaky looking, like those little zombie ladies walking around
Zombie
and
kids,
stuff. Like
almost
yeah,
like what
I
they
don't
are.
think I've seen that one, but I know what you're talking about, like the Halloween style.
That one was on
commercials.
tonight.
I honestly can't remember the last time I really watched commercials. I don't really watch
Yeah.
Yeah,
commercials.
but you probably look down at your phone, whereas a kid who's like playing and they see a commercial
Yeah.
on, they're gonna be like,
Yeah,
No, I know, I'm just saying, like, I don't even,
it's,
like-
It's like I have to like pay attention to like if
Yeah,
I'm
it's
checking
a
like
part of the
Twitter or
problem.
like my fantasy teams, it's while the game's on because if like a commercial's on, like my daughter might start crying or something. Like I have to like it's kind of like a full-time job while I'm watching TV, you know.
You got to keep the remote like you got to keep it like in your holster.
You got to keep your remote hand strong.
Yes.
Phil, do you have anything?
No, I don't. I've been having a pretty good, like, I feel like sometimes you guys just wish like that I would run into something that just like ticks me right off, you know?
I can't wait for when we start playing football again on Sundays just so Phil can roll.
Well, here's
another
one.
ankle.
Here,
I
don't.
Are you going to play?
I don't think so, no.
I can show you one right here. Selfie cam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't reach.
Don't reach.
You just got to keep your notes ready, and you got to, you know, like when you see something, you know,
You almost have to prepare for the pod.
yeah. You have
Here's
to,
the thing.
It's part of
Phil's
content
gonna
creation.
come with a very like. Eventually, he'll come with the one where he
Most
has
of
to.
mine are like bombs.
He'll
that
be a
go
very
off.
fictional big bomb from Phill.
Fiction, nonfiction. There's
Yes.
two kind of
I was at Costco and they
Fictional
moved the
narrative.
milk from this side of the cold room to the other side of the cold room.
I'm trying to think. Like,
No,
I
don't
just think-
push it. Phil.
Don't
It's
push
okay.
it.
It's
No,
okay.
no.
We'll give you a week to make up a lie
Yeah.
for your diva.
I also won't be here. Maybe I'm the diva. I will not be here this show this week.
That's true. That's
I know.
true.
I know I'm going to be missed. I'm going to be missed, or our listenership is going to be through the roof.
Well,
Right through the roof.
if it's through the roof, we might just say like, "Hey, you can be an intern or something, or run the cameras or something," which you might be better at.
Don't give
honestly.
me that gift.
You can massage my feet while I talk.
Oh my
All right, I think
In
that,
this thing,
I,
Trent.
think, I think that does it. We got a waiver wire pod coming tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Thursday always. And as always, guys, take care.
This has been another episode of the Fantasy Football Dudes podcast. Remember to rate, review, and follow. For more information, go to www.thefantasyfootballdudes.com. And remember, we are sorry for absolutely nothing.